What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie here, back with another toy hunt video. Oh man, we're going back to blast from the past because obviously we're out here in Long Island, New York for Big Event New York. If you're not a best one yet already, subscribe, turn on the post notifications because the grind is real. And hopefully we can find some pretty cool Lucy's here because I got really lucky last time. So with that being said, let's get it. The grind is real. That's one cool thing I've never seen before. The Dusty Rhodes Hall of Fame WCW ring. Target exclusive back in the day right here. Pretty cool. Don't know why Mattel doesn't really do more rings like this in the day. Also, they got the new generation, it looks like. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's Giant. That's Big Show, WCW.
When you had the hair?
Yeah, I used to have a lot of scuffs on him back in the day. If I didn't have her, guys, I definitely would be adding it to the collection because it's really hard to find accessories with this one, but we already have her, so if you ever come to this store, guys, this is a good find right here. Guys, look at this here. We got Animal. This would be a cop if they had the Road Warrior spikes with it. That's one thing that's very hard to find with the Road Warrior. This right here, guys, is one of my favorite Titantron figures back in the day. So underrated with the little thing on the foot, and then you would put it on the entrance stage. That was one of my favorite things as a kid. These were like the very first figures that I grew up collecting. So guys, I'm going through these, and this right here definitely caught my eye. Gene Snitsky. It is a little beat up and just really needs knee pads, but damn, this one wasn't beat up. This would be a cop. There it is, man, Mr. Kennedy. This has been one I've been looking for in my collection for my Ruthless Aggression. Good condition. I believe this is his rookie figure as well, so we're definitely going to be picking that up. Russians here. Looks like they got Rene Dupree. This one we actually do have mint on card signed. I got this back in Christmas '04. So I'm definitely thinking about getting this for the Ruthless Aggression. It's in great condition too. Great condition. So guys, I've been trying to find the Nexus guys and David Otunga. I was really excited, but the condition of it. This is the only thing about the Lucy's, man. They're either hit or miss. And if this was in better condition, oh man, this would have been an immediate cop. So guys, I'm going through these, and this figure right here, man, brings back a lot of memories. Christmas 2004, I got that entire set right there. The condition of the box could be a little better, but honestly, this is more for nostalgia, so I think we are going to pick this up. Because this is like, when I think about Ruthless Aggressions, this is the first set that I think of. Here's some pretty cool sport figures that they do have here. Old school starting lineups right there. Especially baseball. These are, I'm not a baseball guy, but these are pretty damn cool. And looks like they have classic LeBron, Ben Wallace, Yao Ming. That LeBron is pretty cool. So guys, back in the day, I used to have this. I had like 10 of these from McDonald's.
Many, many toys later.
We're back from Blast from the Past. What a great weekend I had at the big event in New York, which if you want to go check that vlog out, it is over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. Or if you want to go check out the Wrestling Universe toy hunt, you can check that video out as well. But man, the first time I went to Blast from the Past was last November, and I was shocked with the amount of Lucy's that they had. And this time around, I thought that, you know, I got lucky the first time. I don't think I'm going to be finding as much figures as I needed. But, whoo, I was wrong. So many new Lucy's, and I found some really awesome things at this store. And I got to give a huge shout out to them because they welcome me every time with open arms, and to be honest with you, it's one of my favorite toy stores to shop at. It's just good vibes, great conversations, and just so many awesome nostalgic things for people in the 80s, the 90s, and even the early 2000s. And it felt like Toys R Us back in the day when I was a kid growing up, and man, what a great selection of figures that they have. And man, I can't wait to show you guys everything we got. So with that being said, let's get into it. Starting things off, because we got a lot of Lucy's we're going to be opening up. We found ourselves one that I really liked back in the day for some reason. Part of the Titantrons. We found the Big Show when he first arrived in WWE. And this figure I loved for some reason. I used to use him in my Fig Fed as like a security guard and stuff, but yeah, I don't know, I just picked this up. I might probably end up putting him in my crowd or something in my We Are Wrestling arena there, but there it is right there, looking good. And I remember having the stage as a kid. You used to rub the feet right there, and then the music would play, which was always cool. And man, great throwback figure right here. Good old Big Show. Moving on now to our next figure we picked up. We got Trish Stratus. I believe this was a part of the Ruthless Aggression SummerSlam line back in the day. Her as the referee, which, man, I loved this figure. I always actually used it as a referee. I never used her as Trish in my Fig Fed. I just always, wanted a female referee for some reason for, like, the female matches. But there it is right there. Great figure overall. Great condition, too. Love the referee top that she's wearing. And I even do like the socks that she has on, the high socks. Great figure. And I've been really getting myself back into the Ruthless Aggressions because that's what I grew up collecting. And moving on now to our next figure here. We have Mr. Kennedy. And with my Ruthless Aggressions, for the most part, I'm going after guys that I know Mattel isn't going to make Elite figures out of. And one of these guys is Mr. Kennedy. I loved his character back in the day, even though he was a heel. I don't know, I just loved the character. I loved how he, would announce his name and stuff. This was his very first figure, too, by the way. Rookie figure here. And, man, what a awesome figure. Love the blue gear. Love the tattoo that we do have here on the top. And I can't believe he never won the World Championship or WWE Championship. I thought that he could have been easily a top guy during this time. But I believe he rubbed Randy the wrong way, and yep, out he went. But great figure to add to my miscellaneous characters in the Ruthless Aggression line. Moving on now, speaking of another Ruthless Aggression guy that I could add to the miscellaneous shelf, we got Shannon Moore. Great figure here. I believe he was a part of the Ruthless Aggression line, Ring Rage, which I only remember that because I think he was in the same set as Eric Bischoff with the gray. Oh man, that was... If I find that Eric Bischoff, I am going to be getting that. Because I used that Eric Bischoff all the way until I stopped collecting figures in my Fig Fed. But here it is, man. Shannon Moore, which I feel like it's very hard to find him with the vest, but this one does come with the vest here. This was his only figure at the time, which I'm surprised. I'm surprised we never got that version 1 Shannon Moore with Matt Hardy, but hey, I'm not complaining. Great cruiserweight guy, and very excited to add him to the collection. Moving on now to our next figure, another Ruthless Aggression one. I feel like I picked up a lot of Ruthless Aggression figures. We got Lita, and this was around her time when she was transitioning from Matt Hardy to Kane, and then eventually went to Edge. I want to say this is around the time she was with Kane. I could be wrong here. But I always remember the old school Jax figures. They always had, like, the pants there that you basically, like, it's not painted on. It's like this, I don't know what kind of texture to call it, but yeah, they were always very unique with their figures. They always tried different things, and I remember this Lita. It came, I believe, in a 2-pack at the time. But such a great figure. 2004 Lita was very underrated. And moving on now to our next random guy we have. It wasn't my fault that I had to pick up Gene Snitsky, another guy I feel like Mattel isn't going to make a figure out of. And can I just say, too, I love the way Blast from the Past, they do their Lucy's here. They put them in, like, this packaging, and just so easy to unbox. And there it is right there, Gene Snitsky. Such a great figure here. And I believe the only thing that I really need to get is knee pads, which I do think I have some old Jack Pacific knee pads. So I'm definitely going to be adding it to this figure to complete it. But man, what a underrated character for his time. And I'm glad that I was able to find one with the goatee, because a lot of the times the goatee was ripped off because of other people using the figure a lot. But there it is, man. Gene Snitsky. Finally, we're adding it to the collection. Moving on now to another Ruthless Aggression figure. We have another diva, Victoria. What a great figure here. I believe this one came in a 2-pack with Steven Richards. I could be wrong. I think I'm right on this one. But here it is. Same pants as Lita as well. I don't know why they did this during this time. But another one that I really wish Mattel would make a figure out of. But there it is. We got Victoria. I love the spider webs on the top there. Looks great. And another very underrated wrestler for her time. I think if she was in today's Women's Revolution, she would have been definitely a top star. And moving on, we have another Ruthless Aggression guy. We have Cafe Day. We got Rene Dupree. And Rene, I was a big fan of his work during his time. I even do have this figure mint on card, autographed by him, because I did meet him at the last big event in New York, which that vlog is up on the We Are Wrestling channel as well. But there it is, man. Rene Dupree in the purple attire. I love that we got the Dupree on the back. And I do love that we do have the highlights in the front, the nice blonde highlights, which eventually I do want to pick up that Great American Bash Rene Dupree with the French color tights. I definitely want to get that eventually. But this one, this has been one I've been looking for. So now I have one autographed in the packaging, and I have one loose for my miscellaneous Ruthless Aggression figures. I might as well do this figure next. We got in the package The Undertaker, part of the Ruthless Aggression set. That is just so nostalgia to me. And it was in the same set as Rene Dupree. And I think I'm going to be trying to get this set mint on card and loose, because this is just definitely one of the figure sets that really brings me back into time. A time I do remember opening these up during Christmas 2004. And it just really has a special place in my heart. So I absolutely love this Undertaker. This is, I believe, his first one back as the Dead Man. I could be wrong, but what a great figure for his time. And we're going to be keeping this in the package, which, man, in my opinion, this was the best This was one of the best Ruthless Aggression figure packagings that was made, in my opinion. But now, getting back into some more Lucy figures, because that's pretty much what we mostly picked up at the store. We got a Jim Ross Jack Pacific figure here. I think that this was a part of the Bone Crunchers towards the end of its time. Don't really know. I know the only thing missing with this Jim Ross is the hat. But it is what it is. I'm sure I can find the hat eventually. I probably have one somewhere. But what a great figure here, man. Jim Ross. This is such an underrated figure for its time. I wish we had more figures that were made like this Jim Ross for Jack Pacifics, I think. But what a great figure. I love the long button-up shirt that we do have here with the old WWF logo. Which, oh no, that's the WWE logo. Oh, shit. Okay. I was wrong. And then we have the khaki pants there. Looking great. And this Jim Ross, I might be probably putting him over in the We Are Wrestling arena somewhere. But moving on now to another figure we have here. Around the same time as Jim Ross. Let's see here. Whoop. Gonna take that off. We got Deborah. And this is a figure that I've been needing for my collection here. For the Bone Crunchers, this is how they would do like the valets and like the managers. So this Deborah here, very excited to add her to the collection. And I feel like we have like almost all of the bone crunching women figures at this point. I think I'm only missing Sunny, if I'm not mistaken. But there it is, man. We got Deborah looking good. And then, oh boy, we did find a couple Mattel Lucy's here. And it all comes back to nostalgia. Wrestlers that I really liked. And this one here, during the time where I think basics were the best figures, we got this really old Justin Gabriel figure. Fortunately, it is not the NXT, it's not the Nexus one, which I am still on the hunt for, but this is around his singles run here, which not the best condition, but this was one of my favorite figures I used in my Fig Fed back in the day, so I might just plant him in the crowd somewhere, because I think eventually I am going to pick up an Elite Justin Gabriel for the D-Tough, but I do love this gear choice that we do have here. Out of all the Nexus members, Justin Gabriel is always my favorite. And our last Mattel figure we do have here that we picked up from Blast from the Past. She is a basic figure, but I've just really become a big fan of her work, and I'm very excited to add this one. We got Indy Hartwell here in her Razor Ramon inspired gear, which I think that this is such an underrated basic. The women basic figures are fantastic, but when it comes to the men basics, I don't know. I'm still questioning them. They are getting better through time, but I just love this nice light blue purplish gear here. So freaking nice. And another great women's wrestling figure I can add to the women's shelf. Alright guys, we got 4 more loose figures here. And starting things off, we got ECW San Francisco toy line Devon Dudley. And believe it or not, last time I did pick this figure up, and when I was reviewing it, it broke on me. I think I took that part out of the video. My Devon broke, but that was my fault because I was just really trying to I was treating it like an Elite Ultimate figure. So we are going to be careful with this one. I hope we don't break this one. But here it is, man. We got Devon Dudley looking good. One of his very first figures, too, during its time. So now all we need to get is Bubba to complete this. But I've been getting myself back into the San Francisco figures here. And we got another one. We got Lance Storm, one of my favorite technician wrestlers of all time. Such an underrated guy. And, oh man, I'm so excited to add this to the collection. I would love if Mattel could make, like, WCW Lance Storm with, like, the old WCW United States Championship with, like, the Canadian logo over it. That would be epic. But here it is, man. we got Lance Storm finally. And I gotta say, for its time, what a great figure. We do gotta take that off, but there it is, man. We got Lance Storm, and I love this about the San Francisco figures. They had these things on the back, and they could do moves, even though I never used them when I was younger. It was a new feature when it came to wrestling figures that really changed the game, but such a great Lance Storm figure. Very happy to have that in the collection. And our next ECW San Francisco toy maker figure, we got Balls Mahoney. I never had this one in my collection originally, so I'm very excited to add him to my set here, which I don't think I'm going to be a completist for the San Franciscos. I just want to get guys that I really like, because it all comes back to nostalgia, and I love Balls Mahoney. So there it is, man. What a great figure for its time. And I gotta say, the Jack Specific one for Balls Mahoney was very underrated. I might actually get that for my miscellaneous Ruthless Aggression figures. But what a great figure. But here on the back, though, we don't have the piece there, which isn't the end of the world, but what a good figure. And last but not least, this one, oh man. This is such a great figure for its time, and I had to pick him up. We got Rob Van Dam right there, ECW San Francisco toy maker with the championship as well. It's very hard to find this, so that's really freaking sweet that we have that. And this was, I believe, in Series 1, which is pretty damn cool. And now I have 4 more San Francisco figures to add to the collection. But we're not done just yet, because there is a couple cool things that I found at the store, because they just have such a friggin' wide variety of awesome things. And starting things off, oh man, I was very excited to pick these up, because when I was younger, I damaged a lot of these covers for my VCR tapes, because at the time I would use my VCRs as barricades for my Fig Fed. So we did pick up a couple of VCRs. We got Kurt Angle. It's true. What a great cover here. Looks very nice. Gonna be re-adding that to the collection. Also, this one I don't remember having, but it did say Blockbuster exclusive. And you know me, I do love Blockbuster. It brings me back to the time when my mom and we would go there and always rent movies and stuff. So I had to pick this up, taking it to extremes. This was a documentary on the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. Great cover here, looks so good. So we got that, and then this one, one of my favorite VCRs that I ever got as a kid. Austin versus McMahon. These documentaries were so good. They need to put these on WWE Network ASAP. But there it is right there. Just the packagings look so good with the VCRs. And I think it's just a nostalgia thing, which is why I love it so much. And last but not least, we got this one sealed. We have WWF Best of Raw Volume 1. Nicely sealed. Great piece to add to the collection, and I got it for about the same price as the one that was not sealed, so obviously I went with the one that was sealed. And eventually I am going to find a spot for all my wrestling VCRs, but for now we are going to be storing it away. We're going to be storing it away, but finally our last figure that we got here. And this one, my dad really encouraged me to buy this one, because he just remembered, like, from Christmas, the year I got this, my mind was blown that they actually made something like this. So we got it, and that is one of the big, giant John Cena figures here. I think it came with a chain. That's the only thing missing. But what a awesome throwback figure for John Cena. I definitely need to find a spot for this somewhere in my studio. But this really brought me back to my childhood. And I actually used to have these and I don't know how, but I'd put them in my fig fed somehow, some way, even though they're like quadruple the size of a regular figure. But there it is, man. We got John Cena, which, man, these were so cool for its time. Maybe I might have to find this in the package sometime. I don't know. That was a lot of figures that we got. A lot of awesome things we got. Like I said earlier, if you're in the Long Island area, highly recommend you guys go to Blast from the Past. What an awesome store. They have everything. I can't even name everything. If you're into something that's old school, that's nostalgia, they probably have it. So I highly recommend you guys go check out Blast from the Past. This was my second time going there, and I don't think it's going to be my last toy hunt that I do at that store, because it's just such an awesome vibe. Let me know in the comment section below your favorite thing that I picked up during this Blast from the Past toy hunt, or if there's something you saw during the toy hunt video, what would you have picked up? Let me know. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a best one yet already, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. The link's down in the description below. You can go follow me over on my social medias and other YouTube pages. All that down below. And of course, to all the best ones out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.